Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy UPSC. In today's video we are going to discuss about the questions from the environment part that were asked in the UPSC Prelims 2023. Okay, now according to me the questions from the environment were the most difficult ones that were asked in the prelims. Here among the 15 questions, according to me, 4 were in the easy category, 4 were moderate and 7 were very tough. Okay, now easy doesn't mean here that the questions could be solved from one direct source or it could be solved at the first glance. It means that the questions could be solved through logic, and these logics you can only learn after you follow the standard sources and do the PYQs analysis religiously. Okay, this will help you in gaining a deep understanding of the various concepts that will later help you in the prelims. Okay, it will help you in making the questions easy for you. Okay, now in another video about the resources for various subjects, मैंने environment के लिए सुदर्शन गुर्जर सर की बुक और PMA 5S की बुक भी सजेस्ट किया था, because those resources have helped me in solving the questions up to an extent. Okay, they have helped me in gaining understanding of various concepts. We will see how when we discuss the questions. Okay, so now let's begin the session. In the first question, if we look at it, it was asked about the invasive species specialist group. Okay, now the answer is IUCN. Okay, but as you can see that questions were asked about IUCN sites etc. in the previous year questions. Now though I have made deep notes, I have done deep PYQ analysis about both these organizations. Okay, many organizations actually, UNEP, UNESCO, but then also I missed out on this. So यहाँ से आपको पता चलता है कि UPSC has increased its level and now हमें थोड़ा और deep जाना होगा while solving the previous year questions. Okay, so this was an extremely tough question according to me. Now in the next question we look at it. If we look at it, it was asked about the nocturnal animals. Okay, now here if we look at the questions from the past few years, then we can say that UPSC is asking questions from the animal behavior part. Okay, now जैसे कि ये क्वेश्चन हो गया, फिर 2022 में एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था about the cultivators of fungi. Now again in this prelims it was asked about the waggle dance. Okay, in 2021 it was asked about the to reduce the chance of being captured by predators, which animals roll up. Okay, so this was again a question from the animal behavior part. Okay, so as you can see UPSC is continuously asking questions from this part, and I had no idea about these two questions. About this question, which animals are nocturnal, and also this question that which organism perform waggle dance. Okay, so I just skipped these questions because मुझे ज़रा सा भी आइडिया नहीं था इन क्वेश्चंस के बारे में. Now here I would like to add that since questions from the animal behavior are being asked, so मैंने कुछ दिन पहले ही देखा था कि सुदर्शन गुर्जर सर ने एक यूट्यूब पे क्लास लिया था और ये क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली उन्हीं के PDF में से है. सो इफ़ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर द PDF और looking for the class, you can search in the YouTube or you can get the PDF even in my Telegram channel. Okay, so you can just check it out. Now in this question it was asked about the mushrooms. Okay, now if you have solved the previous year questions, you will know that mushrooms are one of the favorite topic of UPSC. लेकिन यहाँ से कौन सा सवाल कैसे पूछेंगे वो लोग, ये कुछ आइडिया नहीं है. So in this question I have categorized this as easy because if you have solved the previous year questions, you can understand the pattern that UPSC asks, okay, and you can solve it. So some mushrooms have medicinal properties, some mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Yes, some mushrooms may have these properties. Okay, सारे ऑप्शंस में सम लगा रखा है, so that makes the question solvable. But again, this technique can be solved, this question can be solved only by those who have analyzed the previous year questions religiously. Okay, so please look into the previous year questions, and you will see that various questions have been asked in the same pattern, and also mushrooms are a favorite theme actually of the UPSC. Okay, like in 2022 also it was asked about Gucci. Okay, now in the next question, this was again a question from the animal behavior part. Okay, like about the Indian squirrels, where they build their nests. So आपको दिख ही रहा है कि एनिमल बिहेवियर अब कितना इम्पोर्टेंट हो गया है प्रीलिम्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. सो वी जस्ट नीड टू फोकस डिफरेंटली ऑन दिस पार्ट. ओके, टिल नाउ मैंने भी उतना फोकस नहीं किया है इस पार्ट पे, बट नाउ आई थिंक वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन दिस पार्ट. ओके, नाउ इन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन अगेन आई हैव कैटेगराइज दिस एज ईजी बिकॉज यहाँ पे भी वो सम वाला क्वेश्चन ही है ये भी. It was asked about microorganisms, that some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature above the boiling point of water. Some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature below the freezing point of water. Some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment with a pH below 3. Okay, so yes, all of these are possible. Okay, previous year questions make this question very easy for you because आपको पता चलता है कि ऐसे questions ज़्यादातर सबके सभी सही होते हैं. ओके, नाउ गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. दिस वाज अ टफ क्वेश्चन अगेन फ्रॉम द एनिमल बिहेवियर पार्ट. ओके, सो आपको दिख रहा है कि एनिमल बिहेवियर अब कितना इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है. विच एनिमल यूज़ अ स्टिक टू स्क्रैप इंसेक्ट्स फ्रॉम अ होल. ओके, तो ये ओरंगुटन है. दो आई टिक्ड द आंसर राइट, बट मैंने जस्ट ये तस्वीर ही मैंने कहीं देखा था तो इसलिए वो याद आ गया और मैंने टिक कर दिया. ओके, सो अगेन दिस शोज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द एनिमल बिहेवियर पार्ट. अब तक तो शायद 4 सवाल पूछे ही गए इस साल ही. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट द हाइड्रोफ्लोरोकार्बन्स. various options are aerosols, foam agents, fire retardants, lubricants. Okay, in the making of how many of the above are HFCs used? Now I have read about this in my standard sources. Okay, like in Sudarshan sir's book also I have read about this, that hydrofluorocarbons are used at refrigerants, aerosol propellants, solvents, fire retardants. और मैंने खुद के जो नोट्स बनाए थे उनमें भी ये है एक्चुअली. ओके, सो एज आई हैव रिवाइज्ड माय नोट्स religiously, I knew about the 3 options and the 4th option I thought that it must be correct. Okay, so मुझे उतना कोई perfectly याद नहीं था. मतलब मुझे पता नहीं था कि ये होगा ही, but I guessed it because I solved the previous year questions religiously and I know that जब 3 ऑप्शन सही होते हैं इन सब क्वेश्चंस में एनवायरनमेंट के, तो चौथा भी सही होने का 99% चांस है. ओके, नाउ इन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इट वाज आस्क्ड अबाउट कार्बन मार्केट्स. अब अगर कार्बन मार्केट्स के बारे में हम पढ़ते भी हैं तो इतना डीपली कोई नहीं पढ़ता है. ओके, नम कार्बन मार्केट्स आर लाइकली टू बी वन ऑफ द मोस्ट वाइड स्प्रेड टूल्स इन द फाइट अगेंस्ट क्लाइमेट चेंज. यस, it is definitely correct. Okay, but the next statement, it is actually a vague statement. Okay, now this statement makes the questions a tough one. Okay, now carbon markets transfer resources from the private sector to the state, ये सही है भी और नहीं भी. Okay, now if we are going to discuss about it, it will take a long time, so maybe in another session when we discuss the environment separately this topic, then we will take this question up. Okay. and this was mentioned in Sudarshan sir's book. That is the reason I have suggested you Sudarshan sir's book and the PMFIS book. Okay. In this question about the community reserve, there were 4 options. Okay. Now ये 3 ऑप्शंस तो मुझे पता था, लेकिन चौथा ऑप्शन आई वॉज नॉट श्योर. Okay, so that's why I categorized it as medium moderate. Okay. Now community reserves and conservation reserves के बारे में PMFIS के बुक और सुदर्शन सर के बुक दोनों में ही अच्छी तरह से दिया हुआ है. ओके, सो यू कैन जस्ट रीड अबाउट देम इन दिस sources. Okay. Now in the next question it was asked about mercury pollution. So gold mining activity is a source of mercury pollution in the world. Yes, definitely. Coal based thermal power plants cause mercury pollution. Yes, it can occur. There is no known safe level of exposure to mercury. दो ये दो ऑप्शंस मैक्सिमम लोगों को पता है, मैक्सिमम लोग गेस भी करेंगे, लेकिन दिस थर्ड स्टेटमेंट makes this statement a moderately tough one. Okay, not an easy one. So what logic I have applied is कि मरकरी जब जैसे कि मरकरी के लिए कन्वेंशन है, मरकरी पॉल्यूशन के लिए तो मिनामारा कन्वेंशन है. तो अगर कन्वेंशन है तो डेफिनेटली कोई ना कोई तो सेफ लेवल होगा ही, है ना. सो दैट्स वाई आई क्लिक दिस ऑप्शन एज रॉन्ग. बट अगेन वेरियस आंसर कीज हैव taken various answers for this question. Okay, so we will only get to know the right answer after UPSC releases the answer key. Okay, so let's go to the next question. It was asked about green hydrogen. Now it can be used directly as a fuel for internal combustion. It can be blended with natural gas and used as fuel for heat or power generation. It can be used in the hydrogen fuel cell to run vehicles. Okay, now again if we look at the previous year questions, most of the questions जिनके ऑप्शंस में कैन दिया होता है वो सही होते हैं. एक तो ये बात है, और दूसरा जब आप ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के बारे में पढ़ते हैं तो पूरे साल ही ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन में न्यूज़ में था इस साल. ओके, इन 2022 एंड 2023. So when we read about it, these are the basic things that we read about green hydrogen. Okay, so that makes these options this question a very easy one. Okay, so these are the things that I mentioned about green hydrogen in the book of PMFIS. Okay, this was actually a previous year question, I think. Okay, now the next question was about again green hydrogen. Okay, that green hydrogen is expected to play a significant role in decarbonizing how many of the above industries? So of course green hydrogen is expected to play a significant role in decarbonizing all of these industries. Okay, so this was a very easy question. Now the next question was about carbon sequestration. Okay, now when we read about carbon sequestration and when we read about ocean acidification, we know that anything when it gets acidic, okay, we can increase the alkalinity of the oceans by adding the lime. Alkalinity of anything basically which gets acidic by adding lime. Okay, so during ocean acidification we can just increase the alkalinity of the oceans by adding lime. Now the next option is capturing carbon dioxide released by various industries and pumping it into abandoned subterranean mines in the form of carbonated waters. So ये ऑप्शन भी सही है. Okay, this is also a form of carbon sequestration and this is also a form. Okay, now this first option I was not so sure about, so I just skipped the question. Okay, because as you may already know if you have watched my previous video that some questions are given to be attempted incorrectly. Okay, so we just need to avoid those kind of questions. So this is the topic of ocean acidification. It is mentioned in the PMFIS book. Okay. Now in the next question, it was asked about the biodiversity management committees and the नागोया protocol. दो नागोया protocol हर जगह मेंशन है, लेकिन भाई इतना डीप कहीं भी नहीं दिया हुआ है. ओके, सो दिस वाज एन एक्सट्रीमली टफ क्वेश्चन. ओके, ये सिर्फ एक किताब पढ़ने से सॉल्व नहीं होगा. या तो अगर जिनका सही हुआ है उनमें से 99% लोगों का तुक्के से ही हुआ है. बट आई जस्ट स्किप दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, बिकॉज नागोया प्रोटोकॉल तो हर किसी को पता है, बट इतना डीप किसी ने नहीं पढ़ा है. ओके, सो these are the 15 questions that have been asked from the environment section. I hope my resources, the resources that I have mentioned will help you a lot in your preparation. Okay, and also please start the previous year question analysis, because if you don't do it religiously, it will affect you negatively. Okay, because almost everyone does the previous year questions religiously. They solve it, okay, if they are serious. So if you are not solving them, please start it now, otherwise you will lag behind the others. Okay, so that's it for today. In the next video we will see something else. Okay, so thank you very much.